Are we alone in the universe? That simple question remains one of the most fascinating mysteries in all of human civilization. If it were proven beyond a doubt that intelligent life existed somewhere beyond Earth, how would that change the way we live our lives? Some people would rejoice, imagining celestial beings descending from the heavens to bring harmony and divine order to our world. Others would be terrified, haunted by visions of interstellar war straight out of an H.G. Wells novel. But as of right now, we have absolutely no solid proof that alien life exists, much less intelligent alien life. Hey there, everyone! Still, we're here to tell you this: intelligent extraterrestrial life is out there. We believe it. Sure, it's just a hypothesis for now, but where does that unwavering belief of ours even come from? Welcome to our channel. Stick with us to the end of this video and you just might find yourself believing in extraterrestrial life too. Alright, let's get started. The math of probability. First, let's take a look at the equation used to estimate how many extraterrestrial civilizations might be out there. It's known as the Drake equation, and it goes like this: n equals r star times fp times ne times fl times fi times fc times l. Here, n represents the number of technologically advanced civilizations that might exist in our Milky Way galaxy. R star is the average rate of star formation in the Milky Way, basically how many new stars are born each year. Fp is the fraction of those stars that have planetary systems orbiting around them. Ne is the average number of planets per star that fall within the so-called habitable zone, where conditions might support life. Fl is the fraction of those planets where life actually manages to begin. Fi is the fraction of those life-bearing planets where intelligent life eventually evolves. Fc is the fraction of intelligent civilizations that are capable of, and actively attempt, interstellar communication. And L is the average length of time those civilizations manage to survive and remain technologically active, measured in years. Don't worry, we're not going to break all this down and bury you in endless math. We'll just give you the bottom line. If a civilization lasts for around 100,000 years, and we use the most optimistic estimates for all of the other values, then even just within the Milky Way, we might expect there to be 3 such civilizations. And if a civilization can survive for 1,000,000 years, then the number of civilizations in our galaxy could jump to more than 30. In that second scenario, those civilizations should absolutely have reached Earth by now. But as you probably know, we don't have a single verified case of any extraterrestrial beings visiting our planet. So, what are we supposed to make of all of this? Justifying the silence. The first conclusion we can draw isn't exactly a hopeful one. It suggests that the lifespan of a civilization might not even reach 100,000 years. After all, it's only been about 65 years since our own civilization began actively trying to communicate with others out there, since we deliberately started searching for extraterrestrial life. And yet, despite how short that time has been, we've already come dangerously close to the brink of nuclear war. So honestly, 100,000 years might be a pretty optimistic number. The second possible conclusion is this: alien civilizations might actually exist out there. But for one reason or another, they choose not to reveal themselves. This idea was proposed in 1973 by the astronomer John Ball, and it's known as the zoo hypothesis. According to this theory, intelligent extraterrestrial beings might already be aware that life exists here on Earth. But instead of interfering, they simply observe us, just like humans watching animals in a zoo, carefully monitoring our development without getting involved. And when humanity eventually reaches a certain level of advancement, only then would they initiate open contact. Still, something about this explanation doesn't quite feel convincing. Truly intelligent beings wouldn't be guided by some overblown sense of human-style morality. Just think back to the horrors of European colonization of the Americas, carried out in the name of so-called enlightenment. If alien humanoids ever discovered a paradise like Earth, chances are it would already be filled with their luxury resorts, while the native population would be corralled into reservations to be enlightened. Fine, let's assume for a moment that these aliens really are humanoid and humane. In that case, why haven't they reached out to help a planet where endless wars rage and 1/3 of the population suffers from food insecurity? Could it be that those who argue life in the universe is incredibly rare and the odds of it evolving into intelligent life are even lower might actually be right? And maybe we, the people of Earth, really did just get unimaginably lucky. Although from a few philosophical standpoints that say life is nothing but suffering, maybe we're not that lucky after all. But let's not get too deep into philosophy right now. Indirect evidence. Before we try to challenge the skeptics, let's take a quick look back at what humanity has actually discovered over the past 60 years in our search for alien life. So far, we haven't received a single confirmed signal from beyond Earth. We've never seen a fleet of flying saucers in the sky, and no one has uncovered the ruins of an alien city on Mars. But we have made some other important discoveries. The first big one: planets outside our solar system. Back in the early 1990s, the very idea of planets orbiting other stars was still just a hypothesis. But today we've confirmed the existence of more than 5,000 exoplanets, and tens of thousands more are considered strong candidates. In fact, we now know that almost every star out there has at least one planet orbiting it. That means our galaxy alone could be home to around 100 billion planets, and billions of them might lie in what we call the habitable zone, the region where liquid water can exist. The second big finding: organic compounds have been discovered all over the place. The basic building blocks of life have been detected in comet trails, inside meteorites, within interstellar gas clouds, and even in the atmospheres of distant exoplanets. Some meteorites have even turned up with amino acids, the same raw materials that make up DNA right here on Earth. So the chemical ingredients for life aren't rare or unusual at all. They're part of a universal process that has played out countless times all across the cosmos. The third key discovery: water, the eternal companion of life. We keep finding water just about everywhere. It's been detected beneath the icy shells of Europa and Enceladus, frozen below the surface of Mars, hidden within Saturn's rings, and even clinging to the dust surrounding distant newborn stars. It seems that water isn't some rare exception, it's something entirely normal and widespread. And finally, we come to the most intriguing clue of all: strange signals. Every now and then, radio telescopes pick up bursts that aren't from pulsars or quasars, but something else entirely: fast radio bursts. Some repeat over time, while others flash just once and are never seen again. The most famous case is the so-called WOW signal, detected back in 1977. It was a short, powerful radio pulse coming from the direction of the constellation Sagittarius. And to this day, we still have no idea where it came from. A universe that wants to live. All of these discoveries can be seen as indirect evidence, just like what investigators would call circumstantial evidence in a criminal case. They don't prove we're not alone. But it feels as if nature has deliberately prepared the exact same conditions for life to emerge millions of times across billions of worlds. So then, why haven't we actually found life anywhere else? And come to think of it, do we even need to find it? Maybe life only appears when it's truly needed. Is that how it works? Let's try to explain this. Maybe the evidence of intelligent extraterrestrial life isn't hidden somewhere out in deep space, but rather, it's been close to us all along, within us. Just think about it. Life is order. It's the thing that fights back against chaos, collapse, and the pull of entropy. Right now, humanity is only able to harness a tiny sliver of the energy around us. But we're evolving at an exponential pace. In just 10,000 years, we've gone from tending fires to warm our tribes to harnessing nuclear power. And over the past 100 years, that's just 1% of human history. The amount of energy each person can produce has multiplied several times over. Looking ahead, some believe we'll be able to build Dyson spheres, giant structures that capture all the energy of an entire star. From there, the concept could grow to a galactic scale, until eventually we'd be able to control all energy in the universe, even dark energy itself. But here's the thing: entropy, the second law of thermodynamics, is one of the fundamental laws of the universe. Everything naturally moves toward balance, toward stillness, toward a thermal death. And when that happens, there will be no energy, no motion, and not even the faintest trace of meaning left. If the universe truly follows this law, and as far as we know, nothing exists without following it. If that's the case, then the universe should be slowly fading into nothingness, destined to vanish without a trace. But that brings up a fascinating question. Why did a being capable of noticing this process ever come into existence in the first place? The answer might be surprisingly simple. Intelligence is not just some random byproduct of evolution. It's a tool, something the universe uses to sustain itself. More and more physicists and philosophers are beginning to believe that the universe was shaped by what's known as the anthropic principle. This idea suggests that the universe looks the way it does because if it didn't, we wouldn't exist to observe it in the first place. The constants that define our physical laws, gravity, the speed of light, the structure of atoms, are all perfectly balanced for life to exist. If even one of those values were slightly different, there would be no stars, no planets, and no intelligence to ponder any of it. That's why we can't just dismiss humanity as some cosmic accident. We're not just a random drop floating in the void. We are the outcomes of a universe that has been fine-tuned for the birth of consciousness itself. For the universe to keep existing, it needs intelligence. Without it, the spark of warmth would vanish, and the universe would become nothing but a frozen corpse. Only intelligence has the power to resist the death that physicists call entropy. And something so vital to the survival of the universe could not have been created just once. It must not have been created just once. Of course, this is just a logical assumption. But think about this. In aviation, every life support system is built with redundancy, backups upon backups, so that no single failure leads to disaster. And if that logic applies, then somewhere else in this vast universe, another observer has almost certainly been created by the very same laws. Maybe they look like us, or maybe they look like nothing we've ever imagined. But wherever they are, one thing is certain. They possess intelligence and the will to evolve. Because evolution isn't optional. It's an essential condition for saving the universe itself. That's why the drive to evolve is hardwired into our very DNA. Sure, this may all sound like a philosophical argument. But throughout history, it's often been philosophy that comes first, long before we make material discoveries. So now let's try to answer the great paradox. If they exist, then where are they? They're out there. It's just that they're unimaginably far away. The universe has intentionally placed us and other civilizations at opposite ends of vast distances, like two boxers placed in separate corners of a ring before the bell ever rings. If contact happened too soon, the outcome could be catastrophic. Let's not forget, aggression as a survival instinct is something that's deeply ingrained in human nature. And there's a good chance that trait is universal, shared by other forms of life as well. On Earth, there may not have been a single day in history when some kind of war wasn't happening. But when we mature, when we come to truly understand our purpose, then and only then will we be able to cross the vast distance that our Creator placed between us and our cosmic counterparts. So there's no need to worry and no reason to wait in fear. We won't encounter another intelligent life form before the right time comes. And in return, we'll be spared the tragedy of an interstellar war. Isn't that something to be grateful for? If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to give it a like and share it on social media. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you again next time. Take care.